All right, let's do it. NFL picks.
Easiest thing to say.
I was 5-1 on the NFL picks in the first round of the playoffs last week. The wild card weekend, 6 games, which stretched from Saturday morning to Monday night. I don't remember that in my day as a kid, but here we are. I was 6-1. I kept 5-1. I kept track, and I got to hand it to the Rams, Steve. That was a big time upset. Record-setting 9 sacks. Big stuff.
Yeah, as a Philly fan, I'm a little worried this weekend. The Rams looked really good. Everyone is really gassing up the Rams this week, so we'll see how that game goes. But as a quick recap for your record, yes, you
Yes.
were 45, 39, and 1 in the regular season, 5 and 1 so far in the playoffs, 50, 40, and 1 overall.
Wow, look at me. Look at me. I'm a regular Chris Berman. All right, so 5-1 in the playoffs. What do we got this week? Where are we going? Oh, man, it's going to be tough.
All right, 4 games this week in the divisional round of the playoffs. So both of our number 1 seeds are now playing their first game. So game number 1 is Houston at Kansas City. Kansas City is an 8.5-point favorite.
Ooh, look, I like what the Texans did. I like the Texans. Someone this week in the punditry world said the Texans could be, or the Texans are an example of what the Miami Dolphins could be. And I like that idea. I'd love to get the chance to lose to Kansas City in the second round, but that's the thing. There's no way around this. You take Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes, the second, is rested and ready. We're going to have Taylor Swift in the crowd. It's going to be great. Kansas City, big over Houston.
All right, taking Kansas City. Here we go. Game number 2.
Hmm.
Washington is at the Detroit Lions. Detroit is an 8.5-point favorite at home.
So the sub story of this is earlier, I about 2 weeks ago, no, week ago, right? You and I did a clip out episode, and I have the Lions beating the Bills as my Super Bowl pick. I reserve the right to move off that week to week, and I'd love to move off that now. I just had lunch with Mark Ellis, who is still emotionally affected by Washington's playoff win last week. I gave him a 2024 Score Football Jaden Daniels rookie card that I pulled from a pack for Sports Card ASMR. I gave it to him, all signed, sealed, and delivered. It's his. But all that to say, it's going to be a bad weekend in the Ellis household because Lions are going to win, and I think it is going to be a shootout. There might be the prop bet is, Steve, how many punts are going to be in the game, and I'm saying 1 total punt in the game.
1 total punt in the whole game. Both teams combined. 1 punt.
I'm saying that right now. Mark it. If I get that right, Laserbolt has to pay me $200.
If I can find over under on punts on FanDuel, I am absolutely taking that, and I promise to give you a cut.
Let's do it. 1 punt. These teams don't have good defenses. The Lions have a little bit of a better one. It's going to be 55. Well, I got to take the 8.5, so it's going to be 55, 45, 46.
All right. Taking Detroit and the points. Taking both big favorites this week, so that'll be interesting. Don't gamble, kids. All right, game number 3. Los Angeles, the Rams at Philly. Philly is a 6.5-point favorite at home.
Rams are hot. I get it. I think. Remember when the Dolphins beat them on Monday Night Football? Oh my God, what our season could have been. There's just no way. The Rams are hot, but Steve, you've been around watching football long enough. A team gets hot, and sometimes it's hot enough to take it to the big game, but other times it is a hot that fizzles, and you forget that they were hot, and they become a story for the week. That's the Rams. You got Barkley running wild. Philly is ready. I'm going for you, for Hal Lublin, and all my Eagle friends, my friend Corey as well. Eagles, Rams, it's going to be an 8-point win for the Eagles.
Go Birds, taking the Eagles. Yeah, I think you're onto something there. The Rams might be the team of the week, but Philly, I mean, I'm a homer, but Philly has a more complete team, offense, defense. We've talked before. I think Jalen Hurts has kind of, been up and down a little bit. Last week was a little shaky, and the Rams look so good on offense, but that Eagles defense is so good.
So good. And look, let's be honest, Hurts' brain is still a little foggy, which we'll deal with maybe at another time. But I got it. Yeah, look, Will McClain in chat says McVay the better coach. Don't disagree at all. But come on. Eagles, got it. Barkley's having that year where you go, oh, it was his year and he took it all the way to the Super Bowl. I still think Lions, but I'm going them. All right. Kansas City, Lions,
game
Eagles.
Number 4.
Game number 4.
This is the game of the week. Baltimore at Buffalo. Buffalo is a 1.5-point underdog at home.
Oh, wow. I guess I have to stick with it. I'm going to convince myself that the Bills are going to win, but there's hesitation in me, Steve. There's hesitation in my heart on this. Watching Baltimore was something, and they're a type of team that can get hot and go all the way too. But that's kind of where we're at with these 4 games. Any one of these teams could get hot and go all the way, except for maybe the Texans in my head, and then a little less the Rams. But I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to go Bills. They're going to win. Close game, but they're going to win straight away.
All right, taking the Bills in the last game. Yeah, the fact that the Bills are a 1.5 point underdog at home is great. If anything, I thought that game would be a push, but the fact that you can take the Bills and get points, like you can, I mean, that's Josh Allen's so good, and the Ravens were kind of up and down at the end of the year.
They were.
But they've looked good lately.
They were. They had that kind of weird season, but so did Kansas City, all the way to being the best in the AFC. What's the weather like in Buffalo? Do we have a Buffalo weather report?
I haven't looked. It's going to be cold, Ken. It's January. It's going to be cold as hell. That's what it's going to be.
It's going to be cold. Cold as hell, says producer Steve. Addy points out in chat, all home teams. Yep, I think this is when home field advantage really starts to kick in.
Good observation. So here's our quick recap. We're taking Kansas City over Houston, Detroit over Washington, Philly over the Rams, and Buffalo over Baltimore. Really liking the home field advantage, and Buffalo is your only underdog, but that's a good underdog.
There you go. Rich T in chat says 5 of the 6 home teams won last week, just not the Bucks. Ask Cody Hall, the Wangers, about it. Steve, love it. We're gonna be 9-1 at the end of this week. We're gonna be 9-1, and mark it down.
We'll see.
Mark down that one punt.
We'll mark it.
Let's win it big.
One punt. We're having some fun with the one punt. I'll let you know about that.
Oh, I love it. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you, Ken. Appreciate it.